It was here on 3/11 that a massive wall of water, the likes of which the world has hardly ever seen, came crashing through this valley of Minami-Sanriku, Miyagi Prefecture, Japan. To describe it as an event that was a disaster doesn't begin to tell the story. It is mind-boggling. In this valley of 10,000 people, this very narrow, with mountains around both sides valley, within 8 minutes of those 10,000 people, 9,500 were dead. The wall of water was so tall that it was covering this building behind me that you see close by, and in the distance, if you can see it, the Red Cross building, which is 100 feet high. This thing went all the way through here and it just took out everything in its path. But the stories of courage, the stories of faith, of love, of sacrifice that have come out of this situation, especially right here, are amazing. There's the mother who had her 2 small children, and as the wave came, she had no way that she was going to survive in her little wooden house, and she knew it. So she took her children down to cross the street to go to her sister's house. But the waters were already coming, so he took her first child and got her to her sister, who lived in a concrete steel house. When she went back for her second child, the water was up to her waist. She managed to get the child. She made it halfway back across. There was no way she was going to make it, and she threw her child to her sister. Her sister barely grabbed her hand and saved her, but the mother was washed away, never to be heard from again. There's the story of the man who was in charge of the old folks home, who had many patients under his care, many who were invalids. And when the waves came, when it was obvious this was going to hit their building, they started to evacuate, but there was no time to get everyone out. The staff refused to go back in because the waves were already hitting. It looked very dangerous. But he went back in time after time after time to rescue his screaming, desperate patients. They were the people he cared for. He loved them. They were in his charge. And he went back once and twice and 3 times and 4 times and 5 times and 6 times, 7 times. Finally, the building was washed away, and he went with him. The captain went down with the ship. But he loved them, and he tried to care for them. And those that survived owed their lives to him. There are many amazing stories like that. There's the story of the man and his wife who were in their house, and they tried to climb up to the roof of the house as the waves came, and the wife was washed away. And the man clung to the roof of the house, heartbroken that his wife was gone, and his house was completely washed out to sea. He stayed on the top of that house for 2 days. He wanted to just give up and die. It was snowing here. It was cold. He was in the water. This is winter. But he just felt his wife calling out from him from beyond there, saying he had to live. He had to take care of his children. He had to live for their kids. And so he hung on to that top of that house. He floated out into the ocean 10 miles until a ship happened to come upon him, and he was saved. He's alive to tell the story. It's an amazing thing. Why this all happened, the Lord knows. There's many people have said many things. The news media pointed out that a man stood on the seawall just up the road and pointed up to heaven and said, not even God could destroy this brand new, big, huge seawall. There's other people that have other opinions. But I don't purport to know that, but I do believe that Kim's going to come here, Kim Clement, who really hears from the Lord. He gets things clearly. And he's a very honest prophet. He's going to tell it like it is. He's going to come here to this place of tremendous disaster, and he's going to be able to hear from the Lord and give it to the world. He'll be here in about 2 weeks. We do hope that you'll support him in prayer and encouragement. It's a long, hard trip to come halfway around the world, and it's cold here. We have an unusually warm day today. It's up into the 50s. But it's usually snowing and cold in this northern part of Japan. So please pray for Kim, pray for his team, their health, their safety, and pray that the Lord will break through and speak for this country. And thank you so much for all you have each done, each of Kim's warriors, and for Kim and Jane, for everyone there. We love you, and we're very thankful for you, and we look forward to seeing you soon back here in Japan. I'll show you a few more photos from here, and hopefully we can get some more pictures here, but you'll get much better when Kim comes in a couple weeks. Mind you, this is 7 months after the disaster happened. I was in Kobe when they had the disaster there. That was cleaned up after 7 months. Many estimates here report that it'll be 7 years before they can even begin to get back to normal. Bye for now.